I'm 57 years old, and I want to tell you something most men never hear until their body forces them to listen. Aging is real. But the speed at which your body breaks down, a lot of that is negotiable. I learned that the hard way. After 2 decades in the teams, I thought I understood toughness. I thought if you pushed harder, trained harder, ignored pain longer, you'd stay ahead of decline. Then my late 40s hit me like a quiet ambush. My blood pressure was climbing, recovery was getting worse, my energy was off. I looked strong on the outside, but the data said something else was happening under the hood. That was my wake-up call. And here's what surprised me. The answer wasn't more punishment. It wasn't another brutal program. It wasn't chasing some flashy anti-aging shortcut. A big part of the answer was simpler than that. Much simpler. When you look at older adults in Japan, especially the ones who stay mobile, clear-headed, and independent deep into later life, you notice something most people miss. They don't treat movement like a special event. They build it into daily life. Small movements, repeatable movements, low-drama movements. The kind a lot of men dismiss because they don't look impressive. That's a mistake. Today I'm going to walk you through 6 Japanese-style movements I've been doing daily. And I'll tell you straight, these are not fancy, and that's exactly why they work. They help with balance, joint health, posture, coordination, stiffness, and the thing most men over 50 are really after whether they say it or not. Staying capable. Not gym fit for a photo. Capable. Capable enough to get off the floor. Capable enough to move without fear. Capable enough to keep your brain sharp and your body under your command. So if you've been feeling tighter, slower, more fragile, or you're just tired of waking up feeling like your body aged another year overnight, stay with me. Start with one of these, then build from there. Let's get to work. The first movement is slow walking with intention. Not power walking. Not pacing around while staring at your phone. I'm talking about walking slower than feels natural on purpose. That sounds almost ridiculous in a culture that tells men everything has to be intense to count. But slow walking done correctly is one of the fastest ways to clean up how you move. Here's how I do it. I walk at roughly half my usual pace. I let the heel touch first, then I roll through the middle of the foot, then push off the toes. No stomping, no rushing. I keep my shoulders relaxed and my eyes forward. And I match my breath to my steps. Usually a calm inhale for a couple of steps, then a longer exhale. What does that do? It forces your body to organize itself. Your feet start working again. Your ankles stop acting asleep. The hips and core start contributing. And your nervous system comes down a notch. A lot of men over 50 live in a constant low-grade state of tension. They don't even notice it anymore. They just call it normal. It's not normal. It's common. When you slow down your walk, your brain has time to pay attention. Balance improves because you're no longer throwing your body forward and catching yourself. Your posture improves because you're not collapsing into momentum. Mentally, you feel less scattered. Start with 10 minutes. Outdoors is ideal. Grass, dirt, a quiet path if you've got it. If not, any safe surface works. Just move with control. This is not about burning calories. It's about rebuilding mechanics. A lot of men think exercise has to leave them exhausted. Sometimes the smartest move is the one that leaves you more stable than when you started. The second movement is a short, flowing mobility sequence first thing in the morning. In Japan, simple group movement routines have been part of daily life for generations, and I understand why. The body after 50 responds well to rhythm. It responds well to repetition. It responds well to motion without strain. So every morning I run through a brief sequence. Nothing heroic. Arm circles, overhead reaches, gentle side bends, controlled torso turns, knee lifts, shoulder rolls, easy calf raises, a few hip opening motions, 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5. That's it. And before you dismiss that as too basic, think about what aging actually does. It doesn't just reduce strength, it quietly steals range of motion. It narrows your movement options. Your shoulders lose freedom. Your thoracic spine gets stiffer. Your hips get lazy. Then one day you reach, twist, step wrong, or try to pick something up, and suddenly you realize your body had been shrinking for years. This kind of morning movement interrupts that pattern. It gets fluid moving through the joints. It raises body temperature a little. It gives your brain a clean map of where your body is in space before the day starts. And for men who wake up stiff, this matters. You don't need to attack stiffness. You need to melt it. One of the biggest lies in fitness is that more pain means more progress. No. Precision matters more. Consistency matters more. A basic movement routine you'll actually do every day beats the perfect program you abandon in a week. So do this in your bedroom, your kitchen, your garage gym, doesn't matter. No equipment, no special clothes. Just move every joint you can through a comfortable range before the world starts pulling at you. The third movement is the deep squat hold, or at least your version of it. Now let me be clear. I'm not asking every man listening to drop into a perfect full squat tomorrow and sit there smiling like a mobility coach on social media. That's not the mission. The mission is to reclaim your relationship with the ground. A deep squat is one of the most natural resting positions the human body has. But many men lose it because they spend decades in chairs, cars, couches, and office seats. Then they hit their 50s or 60s and wonder why their ankles are stiff, their hips are locked up, their knees feel old, and their lower back gets cranky. The squat exposes all of it. When I started bringing this back into my own routine, I didn't force range I didn't own. I used support. That's what I want you to do too. Hold onto a countertop, a door frame, a sturdy post, whatever you've got. Lower yourself as far as you can with your heels grounded if possible. Keep the chest up. Breathe. Stay there for 15 or 20 seconds, then come out. Over time, that posture starts restoring things. Ankles open up, hips loosen. The pelvic floor gets some work. The spine decompresses when you stop folding yourself into chairs all day. And maybe most important, you build confidence near the bottom position instead of fearing it. That matters because daily life is full of low positions. Getting something from a bottom shelf, gardening, playing with grandkids, picking up a bag, recovering from a stumble. If your body has no access to those angles, simple life starts feeling dangerous. Use a rolled towel under your heels if you need to. Hold on to support. Build slowly. No ego. The goal here is not to look athletic. The goal is to stay independent. Men hate hearing that word because they think it sounds soft. It's not soft. Independence is one of the hardest things to preserve if you neglect the basics. The fourth movement is single leg standing. This one is almost too simple, which is why most people don't respect it until they lose it. Balance is not just a leg issue. It's a full system issue. It's your feet, ankles, hips, core, eyes, inner ear, and brain all talking to each other in real time. And after 50, if that conversation gets sloppy, falls become more likely, confidence drops, and movement gets smaller. Men start avoiding uneven ground, stairs, quick turns, and anything that makes them feel unsteady. That's how the world shrinks. So here's the drill. Stand next to a wall, countertop, or chair. Lift one foot just slightly off the ground. You don't need some dramatic yoga pose. Keep your posture tall. Fix your eyes on the point in front of you. Breathe normally. Hold 20 to 30 seconds. Switch sides. That's your starting point. When that gets easier, you can lightly turn your head side to side, or move one arm slowly, or stand on a folded towel. But earn that progression. Don't get cute too early. What I like about this movement is that it gives you honest feedback. Some days you'll feel locked in, some days you'll wobble more. Good. That tells you something. It tells you how recovered you are, how focused you are, how well your body is integrating. And here's another hard truth. Most men think longevity is about labs, supplements, and medications. Those matter. I care about data. But if you can't balance on one leg for a decent amount of time, your body is telling you a story that no supplement stack can hide. So attach this habit to something you already do, while brushing your teeth, while waiting for coffee, while the microwave runs. That's how these practices stick. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer excuses. The fifth movement is floor transitions. This may be the most important one on the list. Can you get down to the floor under control and get back up again without turning it into a negotiation with your joints? That question matters more than a lot of men realize, because getting to the floor and rising again demands a blend of qualities that keep you young in the real world. Mobility, leg strength, coordination, trunk control, awareness, and confidence. When those fade, people don't just move less. They start living more cautiously. Then that caution turns into dependence. I want you to practice the opposite. Start with support if needed. Use a chair, couch, or bench. Lower yourself to a kneeling position, then maybe to a seated position on a cushion or mat. Then work your way back up. Use your hands if you need to. Over time, try to rely on them less. 2 or 3 reps a day is plenty at first. I'm not asking for speed. I'm asking for ownership. This movement reveals where you're limited. Tight hips, you'll notice. Weak legs, you'll notice. Poor coordination, you'll notice. That's not bad news, that's useful news. Because once a weakness is visible, it becomes trainable. And let me say this directly. The day a man loses the ability to get off the floor comfortably is often the day he starts feeling old in a way that hits deeper than wrinkles or gray hair. It changes how he sees himself. Don't wait for that. Train it now while you still can. Build margin before you need it. That's how resilient men operate. They prepare early, not emotionally, but practically. The sixth movement is the towel twist. This one looks almost laughably basic. Good. That means most people overlook it, which leaves the benefits to the few who are smart enough to try it. Take a towel and hold it at about shoulder height, arms extended but not locked. Pull outward gently, like you're trying to stretch the towel apart. Now rotate your torso to one side while keeping the hips mostly forward. Pause. Come back to center. Rotate to the other side. Slow. Controlled. No jerking. Why do I like this so much? Because it teaches the body to create tension without panic. It wakes up the muscles that stabilize the shoulders, upper back, trunk, and rib cage. It improves rotational control, which most men lose as they age because their movement becomes too linear, forward and backward. Sit and stand. That's it. But life happens in rotation. Reaching into a back seat, turning in the kitchen, carrying groceries, reacting to a misstep. Rotation is life. This movement also has an interesting side effect. It sharpens you. When you coordinate tension through the hands with rotation through the torso and stable hips below, the brain has to organize a lot of moving parts. That's a good thing. Complex but manageable movement keeps the system awake. I do this for a couple of minutes in the morning and sometimes again later in the day if I've been seated a lot. It resets posture. It opens the chest. It gets me out of that stiff, locked-up desk body feeling that can hit even active men. And no, you don't need a fancy mobility tool. You need a towel. That should tell you something. The body often responds best to simple signals delivered consistently. Now, before you jump in, let's handle the part nobody likes to talk about: safety and patience. If you've got joint pain, balance problems, a history of falls, recent surgery, or you haven't moved much in a long time, respect that. Use support, reduce range, slow everything down. There is no prize for pretending you're starting from a place you're not. That's ego. Ego gets men hurt. Discipline is different. Discipline says, this is where I am, and I'm going to train from here. If one of these movements feels solid, start there. If another feels intimidating, simplify it. If something hurts in a sharp or wrong way, back off and get it checked. Pain is information. Don't ignore it, but don't worship it either. What I want you to understand is this: aging well is not built on dramatic effort. It's built on repeated signals, daily reminders to the body that it is still expected to move with control, stability, and strength. That's what these 6 movements are. They're signals. Signals to your feet that they still matter. Signals to your hips that they still need range. Signals to your brain that balance is still non-negotiable. Signals to your spine that rotation is still part of life. Signals to your whole system that you are not done. And that matters more than most men realize. At 57, I'm not interested in pretending I'm 27. That's nonsense. I'm interested in being useful, strong, steady, and sharp. I'm interested in earning the right to stay independent for as long as I can. I'm interested in longevity that actually feels like living. That's the target. So here's your move. Don't try to overhaul your life tonight. Pick one of these 6 movements and do it tomorrow. Just one. 5 minutes total if that's all you've got. Then repeat it the next day. Build momentum before you build complexity. Because the body you have at 60, 70, and beyond is being shaped right now by the small choices you repeat when nobody's watching. Strength has no expiration date, but it does require maintenance. And the good news is, you are not too old, and you are not too far gone. You're just getting started.